Time now for Media Watch France, when we find out what the papers and the blogs are saying about the news here. James Creedon is here with us tonight. How are you, James?
Good evening, Laura.
Good to have you with us. Now, Arnaud Montebourg, he's a socialist politician. He didn't come first in the primaries. He didn't come second. He came third. But he's the man everyone's talking about.
He got the bronze medal, but weirdly, he's on top of the podium. And everyone's like, wow, he did an amazing job. And he's the future of the party. He's the one who did way better than anyone expected. So still today, this is 2 days later, if we have a look on L'Express, on the website of L'Express, you've got people saying, wow, well done, Arnaud Montebourg. You were pugnacious. You were fantastic. And so this is a guy called Christophe Barbier. You can see him here. And he does these little video editorials, always with a red scarf. It's one of his signature kind of things.
Socialist.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess, but it's his thing. No matter, whenever he's on TV or doing his little video blogs, even in the middle of summer, he's wearing the red scarf.
We should get him off France 24.
And what he says is, it counts, basically. So he's saying he was pugnacious, but is he hoping in some way, shape or form for Hollande and Aubry, who are the two front runners, to lose in this presidential election? Because it's going to be one of them taking on Sarkozy, so that he could then kind of represent the renewal of the Socialist Party. Christophe Barbier is saying he senses a little bit of what he calls le syndrome de l'échec, a failure syndrome. In other words, he's hoping that the two frontrunners will actually fail and that he'll end up winning.
So he'll be holding out until 2016 before he makes his bid.
Exactly. He's going to,
it's a long game, politics,
it's a long game, exactly. So that's one piece of analysis, just to kind of give you a flavour of what else is being said elsewhere. Slate, the French version, is talking about the Montebourg malaise. They're saying, yes, he got 17% in this first round of voting. But are we not totally exaggerating 17% of just a fraction of the population who went out to vote in this primary? And in fact, they're saying
2.5 million people voted, didn't they? So it is quite a lot of votes, but still 17%.
And they're saying the thing is, he's kind of representing the kind of far left of the Socialist Party, but there are other far left candidates, such as Mélenchon. He's a well-known candidate here in France. He wasn't in the primary, so people who identified with him could have voted in the Socialist primary. Anyway, this is a very complicated way of saying, has it been totally blown out of all proportion, the support for Arnaud Montebourg? And now the two frontrunners are going to be trying to get his votes, so they'll be making their political discourse a little bit more to the left again. So they're saying, he could have an impact on the policy of the Socialist Party candidate, even though really it's based on thin air. It's not really...
Because they're going to have to move further left to appease his supporters, aren't they?
Exactly. So that's another piece of... and here, this article actually reflects that a lot. Do Hollande and Aubry speak Montebourg, or Montebourgese, I suppose you could say? Their political discourse is now being, influenced a lot by his policies. So they're coming out and, for instance, he has said we have to totally control the banks. So Martine Aubry is now saying, well, we need partial control of the banks. And François Hollande is saying we need to strengthen the control of the banks. So they're coming out with a lot of the stuff that he traditionally came out with to try to rob his voters. So there you go. And so just a quick look at some of what else they're saying. They're saying also that there are a lot of traps in the Aubry-Hollande debate. Now, there's going to be a big TV debate tomorrow night on France 2 between these two.
Another one.
And it's going to be one of them that is going to win the second round of the primary next Sunday. Now, what they're saying is there's a lot of pitfalls because they're going to have to attack each other. They're going to have to find the flaws.
Because they've been very civilised so far, haven't they? There have been some complaints about it's all very polite and...
Certainly compared to an American-style primary, I suppose the US
Nobody's
being
been
much better
going
known.
through the jugular yet.
No, they haven't
what
been.
You want in the run-up to an election.
They haven't been kind of going through their private histories and bringing out all sorts of nasty stories about each other.
No scandals, no dirty laundry, nothing
But
like that.
they will probably now have to go for it. And Aubry, for example, said of Hollande, Aubry is the one on the right, the woman, she said that Hollande represents a kind of a weak left, le gauche
she's getting stuck in now.
That's about as nasty as it's got, really, which isn't terribly nasty. So they're saying if by pointing out each other's flaws, people could remember that when whichever one of them goes on to fight Sarkozy.
Is that a socialist thing or is that a French thing, not getting down and dirty in politics?
Well, I suppose they do when it's kind of the two parties facing each other. But the primary is a new invention in French politics. So I suppose they're getting used to it. And it'll maybe get as nasty as it does in American elections sometimes soon.
All right. Now, on the other side of the French political spectrum, of course, is President Nicolas Sarkozy. And his very attractive supermodel wife, Carla Bruni, is pregnant. But we don't know if she's had the happy day or not yet.
Well, as they're pointing out here on Wires and on stuff all day long, France counts down the days for Bruni Sarkozy baby. And you see, there's been a lot of discussion about this on Twitter, but people are getting it wrong. And as this tweet points out here, according to Twitter, Carla Bruni gave birth on the 9th of October, the 10th of October, the 11th of October. Twitter users stop pushing, Carla, start pushing. So he's being very funny, and that's been retweeted about, what is it, something like 72 times now. And this is an example of the false tweet. Pal Sarkozy, who's Sarkozy's father, announced the birth of Vadim Sarkozy on Sunday at 4:20. And, this is all rubbish. It's totally
She's having
incorrect.
twins, isn't she?
Well, that's the speculation. But we don't know yet. So in any case,
very
I
exciting.
suppose what's just in terms of these false declarations, the most interesting one was last Friday when now this is, I don't know if we have a photo of him, but he's a French comic by the name of Nicolas Canteloup, and he was doing his little. There he is up on top, yes. And he was doing his little comic sketch on the radio on Friday morning, and he said, Carla Bruni has given birth to a nouveau-né. Now, nouveau-né means newborn, but it also means a new nose. And the thing is, he was kind of joking about the fact that she'd been in hospital and had been given a new nose. He was poking fun at her. But a Belgian newspaper picked this up as fact and ran with it and said that actually Carla Bruni they didn't get the wordplay about new nose, newborn, and they picked up on this and they said, she's given birth to a baby. So they took this what would you say, comic segment on Orobam radio as fact.
And they took it seriously.
Exactly. And they're pointing out as well that this is the second time...
Sense of humour failure.
Second time in 3 months that the foreign media have mistaken information which was fictional or humorous as fact.
Calm down, people. There's no baby yet.
No baby just yet.
All right, James Creedon, we'll have to leave it there. Many thanks.